this is our weekly team call. This is the last team call of July, which is nuts. And I'm super stoked about all the things that Kel and I are going to talk about tonight. But I really want to encourage you guys. We have 3 hours left as of right now. It's 6 o'clock. We have 3 hours left in July. And if there's a lot of people, I was looking at the drill down and I didn't get the Success Club board done, but there's a lot of people who are really, really close. So if you have 2 points on the board, or if you have 4 points on the board, I really want to encourage each of you to like step up and ask a family member, ask a friend, call, go down the list of people who you can ask to invest in your business to help you out, or even use the U+2 rule, or be like, hey, if you buy this, I'll pay you back. Like, it's an investment in your business. You'll get a kickback if you're the one paying for it. And it's worth it. Like, honestly, hitting Success Club every month is very, very important for your business. It needs to be a non-negotiable. When you make it a non-negotiable, it really changes your mindset, and you just have to make that decision. And sometimes it happens at the very end of the month, and I've been there in my first year. Unfortunately, I hate to admit it, it happened more than once where it was like the last few hours of the month, and I was calling friends and family, and I was like, hey, will you do this with me? Hey, will you do this with me? I'm offering a $20 gift card, or I'm offering a free thing of Shakeology for your next month because I had extra. I was offering all sorts of incentives to get people to do it with me, because Amy told me Success Club was a non-negotiable, and if I wanted to do anything with this business, whether I wanted to create a side hustle, whether I wanted to become my own boss, whether I just wanted whatever I wanted to do with it, like, Success Club had to happen. And I just want to like break this down for you guys. If you are new, like, everybody here is new relatively in the past year or so, besides Kellen and myself, I think. And like, way back in the day, before I was even a coach, how you used to hit Success Club is you would have to sell 5 Shakeology home directs and sign up 1 coach. That was way freaking harder than what we have to do today. And people still made it happen. There weren't challenge packs back then. And then when they introduced challenge packs, all the coaches were like, what is this? So just so you guys know, there's 3 hours left. It does not mean the month is over. I really encourage everybody to keep pushing, to step up your game right now, because also what you do right now will also lead into August, which we're going to talk about, and it's going to be a big month. So I just wanted to kick off the call with that for you guys.
Yeah, totally. And I used to do the same thing that Kate did. I would wait till the last minute. I would burn myself out. I would like give myself like little panic attacks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Success Club 4 and I need 1 more point and blah, blah, blah. And then I would be erratic, and the way that, translated into my business wasn't that great, because I was acting like crazy on social media. I'm like, I'm desperate, like, basically. So I think really like focusing hard at the beginning of the month is a huge thing, and not waiting till the last minute of the month, because, one thing that Amy had said to me or to our group on a team call one time was like, if you wait till the last minute for Success Club, you're going to be burnt out. And then your first 2 weeks of that next month, you're not going to do anything, because you are literally going to do crunch time and feel so burnt out. And that's just how, most of us work in our brains. Some people thrive off of that burnt out feeling. And I was like, that's exactly what's happening. Like, I have this constant, I'm chasing my tail every month at the end of the month. And then the first 2 weeks, I'm so done with that. I just don't do anything. So yeah, I totally do the same thing. So if you're doing that, there's nothing wrong with it. We've all done it. So let's just like change our focus for this next month. And we have some really awesome things to talk to you about. And then also, if you are looking to maybe sign up a friend or a spouse, explain the investment to them, explain to them what it means to you. Because I actually got off a call with someone who wants to sign up as a coach, and she's like, how do I get my boyfriend to see what this is for me? And I'm like, well, have you talked to him about what the vision is and like what you think this is going to mean for you and stuff? Have you actually like gotten down and showed him the actual investment and the value in it? And she said no. And I think that's what we do sometimes when we, are on our phones, and our family members, might say something, or, we have to just say like, hey, this means a lot to me. This is my business. And I think it would be really great if you could help me out, because I know you guys have friends or family to help you out. And if you don't, you have at least one person following you on social media that you know, you don't need to discount them. So that's all I have to say on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like post some crazy thing about what exactly you're doing or what the program is, but you could be like, I'm doing this awesome end of the month deal for anybody who's been wanting to get started, drop incentive, whatever it is. Just so you guys know, I wanted to make sure all my social media followers know it's good till 9 p.m. Pacific or 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, midnight Eastern Time. So it's not the end yet. Don't count yourself out if you're not there. And remember, like, we want you to hit Success Club now, and then we want you to lock it down in the first week of August. Like, you have to draw a line in the sand. That's what I really want to say here. You can't keep going and going and going like this, because I am a procrastinator. I was that person, but this is your business, and you need to show up like it's your business, and remember that. So hopefully, no matter where you're at right now, you find motivation in that, you find your fire, you find your passion, and realize you're changing lives, and you have so much value to offer, and you have so many people you can help with these tools, and it's your job to provide them those tools. So the next thing I want to talk about is something fun we are going to do as a team next month. We are going to do a team-wide 3-day refresh challenge. So it will be August 15th through the 19th, and I can't remember the last time I did a 3-day refresh, honestly. I can't. So it's time to do it. It is a 3-day mini cleanse. You still get to eat food. There's a delicious vegan vanilla shake in there that I love, and it's just a 3-day cleanse to reboot your system. It's a great way to reach out to your current customers, anybody who's ever talked to you about a group before, and to do it with your friends and family and be like, hey, I'm going to do this 3-day mini cleanse to get myself back on track. If you're doing Lift 4, I'm still going to be doing it. I'm probably going to do it the best way I can, so I'm probably going to start it on, well, wait, I need to make sure I have the dates right, because I want to do it so like 2 of the days are active rest days, because you don't want to go super hard the whole time on the 3-day refresh because you're eating in a deficit to cleanse your body. But we can figure that out and make sure I have the dates right for that. So that works out with the Lift 4 calendar. But I really want everybody to get behind it. If you haven't done a 3-day refresh before, do it. It's super fun. It's super motivating to show people what you can do in 3 days to just reboot your system. A lot of people are into 3-day cleanses, and it'll be a fun thing to do as a team. I'll make a challenge group, or you can just run it through your challenge group. It's whatever you guys want to do with that. But yeah, something to talk about on your social media, something to tell people, you know, maybe you've been kind of going all out this summer and you want to reel it back in before you're taking your kids back to school or before whatever comes with fall, like you want to reset your system. This is a great way to do it. So I'm going to be doing it. Kel's going to be doing it. And I really encourage everybody to do it because it's fun. It'll feel good. You want to order it as soon as possible. I think it's like $40 for a coach because you guys already will have Shakeology, hopefully. And yeah, you'll get that in time to start. It's a great way to just kind of kick off. Well, it's not kick off August. It'll be like a halfway through August thing, but it's a great thing to promote on your social media too, to get people started. So I just wanted to talk about that because that'll be really fun. And maybe over the next few days, I can come up with some ways to like advertise for it too. I said that. Okay.
For the 3-day refresh, I was thinking about possibly doing my 4 workouts back to back, and skipping that Wednesday or whatever, whenever it falls in the week, just like doing my 4 workouts after the refresh. So that way I have all 3 active rest days. Not everyone has to do that, of course, like you do what feels good for your body, but I'm going to just like hit it hard that week and make sure I have those 3 rest days still, which I'm loving rest days. Okay. So, and another thing that I just thought about as you were talking about the 3-day refresh, this could be a great opportunity for anyone that has been hesitant on Shakeology to say, hey, why don't you do this 3-day cleanse with me? You're going to get samples of Shakeology and you can see if you like it or not. Like they'll get 3 days to use Shakeology. They're going to decrease bloat like no other. I have lost like 6 pounds on a 3-day refresh before just because it it cleans you out. So it's really great, but it's not abrasive and it's not an aggressive detox either, which is something that you can explain to people. It's not, they'll still be able to go to work. They're not going to have to be on the toilet the whole time. So, all right. Do you want me to talk about?
Yeah.
I don't know even where this was like broadcasted. I was just like, all I saw it was in our roundtable chat. So I don't know if you guys even know about this. Would they know about it?
Yeah, so Amy posted it in the roundtable, and then I posted it in Team Live and Love. Amy also posted it in Bonfire, I think, too.
Okay, I did not post it in my group, so this is new.
Understand the opportunity or like the magnitude of what this is, because
I know. Yeah, and I'll let you like nerd out too. You said I could talk about it, but I can tell you already like want to talk about it, so I'll give you your chance. Okay. If you guys are new, like super new, maybe you've never heard of a test group yet, but there is something that goes along with every program, and it's called a test group. And what this is this is the first, like legit first wave of participants that has ever tried the program. And this is so incredible that we have this opportunity. Maybe you already know, but you don't even know. Like I've always like racked my brain, and I'm like, how do I get into a test group? And even Amy, she waited like 5 years to get into a test group, 6 years to get into a test group or something. 4, was it 4?
Yeah, because I think it was max 30 was her first.
Oh, okay. But she, it took her a while to get into a test group. And it's something that's always been kind of like based off of like high points, very high points, or randomly selected throughout the company. So the fact that we have this opportunity to get into the test group with Shaun T for Transform 20 is insane. Okay. I did the math, and basically they're accepting 140 people to do this test group out of 400 like 1,000 coaches or whatever. I don't know the exact number, but it's hundreds of thousands of coaches. And this is something that you have the opportunity to do. And like, before I get into the details, already start envisioning how this is going to explode your business, because isn't her name Emily that did the 80-day obsession test group? She did the 80-day obsession test group. Her business is like total 180. She's now like, I don't know, 20,000 star diamond. She went from like emerald, and people like to see that you're a part of something special. You're a part of something unique, and you have something maybe like a one up, you're in the test group, you're doing it before everyone else, and you can say official corporate test group. So anyway, now I'm going to get into the details before I get off on all this vision tangent stuff like I do. I'm basically going to read the actual requirements that was posted, because I don't want to give you false information, but it is in Team Live and Love, and I am going to share it in my team page as well. And if you can't find it anywhere, just DM your upline and we'll make sure to give you the information. This is a really big deal, and I'm so excited about it. So what this is this is going to give you access to the test group. This means that you are going to be doing the live workouts where they'll be filmed for you. You're going to be doing the live workouts with Shaun T himself and the trainers that he's working with. You're going to have the opportunity to share your testimony. You're going to have the opportunity to be on freaking commercials like television. I've always wanted to be on TV. So you're going to have that opportunity. And this is, it says 150 guaranteed here. So I probably didn't do the math right. That's why I did hair before this, and that's why I'm a Beachbody coach. So 150 guaranteed spots in the coveted test group by rocking your business in August. The playing field is totally level, so that way each of us have an opportunity, and it's broken down into categories as a coach, which I really, really love, because, let's say you're a brand new coach, you might not have the opportunity to be in the same playing field as coaches that have been, making 100 Success Club points every month, right? So this is super awesome. So the actual brackets are new 2018 coaches. So if you are a brand new coach in 2018, this one's for you. The top 20 Success Club point earners in August this month from new coaches enrolled in 2018, so January through July 31st, will get a guaranteed spot. So if you're a brand new coach and you just started, whether from January to July, you guys should just like post in here in the little chat if you're one of those new coaches. If you hit highest Success Club points out of 20, they're going to pick 20 people, you're going to get a guaranteed spot with Shanti. Like, that's insane. And what's really cool about that is that not like when you are a new coach, it's the highest points are probably not going to be 100. They might be, but it could be a little bit simpler. It's going to be hard, of course, and challenging, but it could be simpler for you to get since you are all brand new coaches. You are all doing this thing for the first time in this, first 8 months of the year or whatever. Okay, the next bracket is for lifetime diamonds and below. So let's say you don't fall into that category of brand new 2018 coaches, and you are you've been a coach for longer than that. Lifetime diamonds and below, so this is where my category is at, top 40 Success Club point earners in August will get a guaranteed spot. So that's pretty awesome. That's really, really exciting. Lifetime diamonds and below, top 40 Success Club point earners in August will get a guaranteed spot. And then if you are Lifetime Star Diamond, and above, which is Kate, which is Amber, the top 80 elite point earners in August, based on elite points earned in August, will get a guaranteed spot. Like 80 people, that's so insane. And I know that Kate and Amber are going to get it, and then I'm going to get it, and then you guys are going to get it, and it's going to be so freaking rad. Do we have any other, let me see this chat here. Let's open up this chat. What are you guys saying? Is anyone like super excited? Yeah, it's going to be slightly harder for you, Kate. I was like, ooh, I'm glad I missed qualifications for 1-star. Because I'd rather be in a corporate test group with Shanti. I mean, I'm sad about those bonuses, but I love me some Shanti. All right, I'm gonna let you take the mic.
Just gonna say, if you're my personally sponsored coach, please help me. You can directly help me earn this, by the way, if you are my personally sponsored coach. It will be, you guys have it easy. I'm just going to say, because I have to earn, there's 80 spots, and there's not, I don't know how many people, but a lot of people are probably pushing for this, because they do normally pick people for the corporate test group from elite or premier coaches, people who have amazing transformations, who hopefully you guys all are better than me and constantly send in your transformations for the Beachbody Challenge, because they pick people from the test group from those two. I'm horrible about it. I've done it for like 2 programs ever, and I've been a coach for almost 5 years. That's going to change. I'm going to send them in with LaFleur. I just sent in my 80-day obsession ones. That was my second one since my first program. But my first program ever was Focus T25 5 years ago in August. So there was like a full circle moment for me, because I remember watching coaches be in the test group. The first exclusive corporate test group that I ever saw was 21 Day Fix. And I remember Amy being so bummed out that she didn't get it. And then Max 30 came out and she was asked to be in that. And then she's been asked to be in so many test groups after that. But it really is a huge thing for your business. It is so explosive, because you get, like Kel said, like you get to talk about something that nobody else is doing yet. Like they do preview workouts, and we have like this coach test group with Joel, and there will be a coach test group with Shanti, I'm sure. But this is different because you get to do it first, and you get to hype it up and talk about something that nobody else gets to do, and you do. So I really hope you guys see the excitement and the potential and the opportunity that each of you has to be in there. And how cool will it be? I'm just going to put it out there and say will, not like if. I'm going to say will it be when multiple people from our team are there, and then we get to share these amazing transformations, and we can have one of the best launches in history in January, because this will be huge. Not only thinking about like what it's going to do for your business in August, when you hit these high numbers to like push yourself to get in there, but it's also going to build your momentum for the rest of the year, because I don't know exactly when the corporate test group starts. It starts normally like a couple months before the program launches, and the program launches in January. So normally, like, we are at like an uphill, we're like on an uphill race. Like, there are ebbs and flows in this business, and going into the winter and the fall can be, or fall and winter can be more challenging, but this will be huge momentum because you'll be sharing this program, and then it'll shoot you into January too. And what you guys may not know if you haven't been around for more than like 6 months, or maybe you started at the beginning of this year, maybe you've kind of seen a holiday season, but if you really like rock the next 5 months of this year and catapult through January, like, you'll see your business explode. And it's such a fun time to be a coach right now, because it's just the momentum that you're building. Everything you do right now sets you up for a really strong January. And you guys have to think about all the people who have already quit on their New Year's resolutions, and all the people who have already given up on that. Like, they're watching you. You may not know it. You may not see them commenting and liking your stuff, but they are watching you. And so maybe they have excuses now. Maybe they're saying, no, it's too much money, or not right now, or I don't have the time. I don't have whatever. Insert excuse. But when you stay super consistent and you're getting amazing results, come January, they're not going to go for the people who haven't been showing up. They're going to go for the girl who's been showing up, getting amazing results, and maybe is in this amazing corporate test group for this brand new program launching in January to help them get in amazing shape 20 minutes a day. So I just really hope you guys see that and feel that potential that you have to be a part of that. And for this to really like take your business to the next level. And even for some reason, if you don't get in, like, what your business will look like if you just push for this. If you just really like give this your all and like decide you're going to work harder for this than you have your entire business. Maybe you've been a coach a week, maybe you've been a coach a month, maybe you've been a coach 6 months, a year and a half, but you are going to go all in for this because you want to see what you can do, and not only what you can do, but all the lives you will change in the process. Because think about it, like, it's amazing for you, it's amazing for your business, but also if you're thinking about all the people you can impact while you're doing this, like, why wouldn't you push for this? Because it will change so many lives, including your own. And I mean, like, I just want to say I'm in a corporate test group. Whether it is this one or not, I will be in one in 2019. It doesn't happen this month, like with this. It will happen. It's just like one of my goals that I've had on my vision board for years. So it's a really cool thing to be a part of. I really want you guys to push for it and just think of everything that you are capable of. So I want to talk about something really quick, because I'm sure some of you may be thinking, like, if this was me 4 years ago when I was a relatively new coach, I would probably be like, oh, I could never do that. I could never hit those numbers. I couldn't be a part of those people, like, in those top numbers. Like, I'm just not good enough, like these top coaches. Well, I just was on a call with Amy on Sunday, and she just got back from the top 10 trip. And she said this was the most interesting top 10 trip that she's ever been on, because what you may not see is you think these top coaches are like amazing, confident, strong women. And she's never been surrounded by the top 10 with so many women who struggle with depression and anxiety and self-confidence. Like, all of these women were, like, besides the 3, including Amy, who had been there for multiple years, all these new people were questioning whether or not they should be there. They were worried about what everybody else was going to think. They were struggling with what to post and what to say because they were worried. And it's like, they're just normal people. They're just like you and me. One thing that I love, and what Amy said that really like kind of hit home for me, is like, whatever vice they need to fill, whether it's they struggle with their self-confidence, they struggle with anxiety, depression, they struggle with their self-worth, they take that and they put that into their biz. They get, what's the word I'm looking for? They get validation, the validation that they're looking for those things out of their business. They put all of that angst, all of those feelings into their business. And that's why they're successful. because that's where they push. So wherever you are right now mentally, I know it's been a weird freaking month. I can just tell you, like, weird family stuff has been going on. I know Mercury and everything was in fucking retrograde and I don't even know what was happening, but my anxiety was higher than it's been in years, where it was crippling some mornings, and I'm just over it. And the thing is, like, this is a season of transformation, and it's going into Transform 20. So it's time to, like, use it. It's time to, like, decide that you are worth this, that if all these other women can do this, you can freaking do this. You just have to decide that you're gonna work harder for it. You don't have to be the strongest. You don't have to do the most invites, maybe. You don't have to show up more than 3 times a day on your social media or whatever, but you do just have to decide you are gonna be consistent, and you are gonna be the most consistent, and you are just gonna be you and be bold about what you want. And you're going to decide not only to set these goals, because the next, Kel and I are going to go over is we're going to do some goal setting for August with you guys. But like, you're going to decide to just give yourself permission to go for it. Because I think that's something we all struggle with, is giving ourselves, like, we set these big goals for ourselves. We set these dreams for ourselves, but then we struggle with worrying if we're actually worthy of it, if we're actually capable of it. Well, I'm here to give you guys permission tonight to freaking go for it. Like, give yourself that permission, because we believe in you and it's your turn. So it's time to, like, take it and do something with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you talked about possibly, like, some of you might already be thinking that you might not be able to hit these numbers and stuff, but I promise you that not every time, but most of the times with things like this that I have tried to push for something, a guaranteed thing that has happened is that it has pushed my business, which is, the main thing that we're always focusing on, is trying to push our business, grow, and be better for ourselves and then also our team. But, I remember my first year as a coach, like my first couple of months as a coach, they did the hammer and chisel, they did a hammer and chisel type competition where people were uploading videos on, doing this new hammer and chisel video. And they were going to choose, Beachbody was going to choose people on Instagram based off this video. My quality was terrible. I chose like a really silly song, but I did it, and I entered anyways. And the reason I'm saying this is because the power of entering and the power of actually trying and doing it and applying yourself to this is more powerful than because you hear these numbers of there's so many thousands and thousands of coaches, and this could never be me and stuff. But how many of those coaches do you think are actually being consistent and actually applying themselves? So what did I do? And I think, Kate, you were a winner as well. Amber was a winner. We won a performance stack, an entire performance stack from Beachbody, because it had just launched. But I was like, I'm not going to win this, but I'm just going to do it anyway. We'll see. And 3 of us,
I think there
was probably another one too. A lot of us that had just even tried and put our video out there won. The same thing with, I think now almost a year ago, I earned $100, like a legit $100 bill from Carl with a signed letter, because I was one of the top Success Club earners in that month. I didn't think I was going to get that. I was like, there's no way. And I think I was like, what? No, it was in 1 week is what the top Success Club earners in that 1 week had gotten it. And I think I made 10 points in that 1 week or something. So anyways, I just wanted to reiterate that anytime that you think you couldn't do something, because I did, I was like, I'm not going to win that. I'm going to try anyway. But just like the lottery, you can't win if you don't play. So if you don't play, you're definitely not going to win. So just play.
I will say, what's better about this than the lottery is your odds are a hell of a lot higher.
Yes.
Numbers. But your effort, sure, you could buy a shit ton of tickets, but your effort and what you decide to put into this,
you have control over it.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm excited. Can you guys tell that Kel and I are really freaking stoked for this? Level of excitement is through the roof. And we just want you guys to see that too and feel that. But what I'd like to do now is, everybody, if you haven't already, take out some pen and paper. You can use your phone if you're not watching us on your phone. But let's write out some goals for August, because this is a new month. ahead of us. This is a great time to set these goals for yourself, because if you don't know where you're going, you won't go anywhere. And maybe that's been your problem in the past. I know that was my problem for me for years, is I wasn't specific about my vision. I wasn't specific about my goals. And so I was working and I thought I was working towards these goals, but they're goals that I wasn't specific about. So I really was like going in circles with them. Yes, I was hitting my numbers, but I wasn't like surpassing what I was really capable of because I didn't know. I wasn't setting these standards for myself. So it's really important to go into a month with strong intentions. And instead of writing goals, I want you to write August like non-negotiables. I'll like August intentions, something that like really not just goals, things you're going to make happen. So I just want to take a few minutes for us to each write down our goals. So obviously Success Club, and obviously if we're all pushing for this thing, then you want to push past Success Club 5. I would aim for like at least Success Club 10 or above. And if you're not an Emerald coach, I would post about doing that, getting Emerald or getting Diamond, and then how many coaches you're going to recruit to get there. What else? Rock Lift 4, rock your social media, rock your personal development, all things you can have goals towards, like run a kick-ass challenge group, be super consistent with your personal development, your meal plan. Just write these things out, because next we're going to take a few minutes to reverse engineer it, but I just wanted to like write it out for a sec. I'm gonna write out mine. If anybody has questions about their goals or like what to write, you can ask them in the chat or unmute yourself. And this can be like a rough thing too, because so first just write out whatever, scribble it out. Then we're going to talk for a second about reverse engineering it. And then I want you guys tonight to sit down and read through these goals, and I want you to write a letter to yourself. And this is something Emma Kittle talked about maybe like a year ago on one of our team calls, where what she does, and Moira does it too, is like you write this letter to yourself, and it's towards like you're going to write it for the end of the month, for maybe September 1st, and write out what you accomplished in August. So instead of just saying like this is my goal, you're going to write this letter to yourself about how you feel accomplishing these goals. Because one thing is like, if you want to really make something happen, you do have to manifest it. And it's not just like wishing it's going to happen. This is why we're reverse engineering it. So you can really like get into action and not just set these goals, but like achieve these goals too. Does anybody want to share any of their goals so we can reverse engineer something? Bueller? I'm going to get real awkward and start calling people out, but I don't know who actually did the assignment, so don't make me be awkward. We don't fight. Kello and I are really awkward. If you guys
maybe I'll just go. You guys want to see my goals? Okay, so this month, I'm still going to get into my email, so I don't know if I'll end this way. But as of right now, I'm at Success Club 54. And I was really pushing for Beat Your Best. So I'm going to set a big-ass, hairy, scary goal of doubling that for August and making sure that I lock that shit in and I get into the freaking test group. So my Success Club is going to be 108. That makes me want to throw up, okay? If your goals don't make you want to throw up, then they're not big enough. So I'm telling you, like, your scale might not be Success Club 108, but it doesn't matter. It's the premise of setting that huge, scary goal and freaking doing it. And writing out, I'm going to write a letter to myself. It's something that I actually haven't done, Kate. I want to, wait a second. I won't be Star Diamond if I go Star Diamond in,
so again in August, you won't be Star Diamond until the end of September.
Because 6 weeks qualifications. Cool. So I was like, wait, maybe I don't want to be Star Diamond. So I do want to get back into qualifications for 1 Star Diamond. That's a prideful thing that I could like let hang me up because I've been all up and down on the rank ladder. Kate knows this. I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's embarrassing for me. But, you know, if you've dropped rank, get over it. Like, start again, go for that goal again. That's what I'm going to do. And those are just the 2 that I'm going to share right now because I have tons. But I want someone else to go.
But wait, we have to reverse engineer your goal really quick. So,
okay.
If you're shooting for a Success Club 108, say that's 54 challenge packs.
Yeah.
Could also be coaches, but also that's 54 challenge packs. Think about how many lives is going to change doing this.
Yeah.
And the reason why I don't want you guys to just write this down, like get specific about what you're saying. Like if you're writing Success Club, whatever, if it's Success Club 20, you're going to say, I'm going to help 10 people get started with the challenge pack. If it's my goal is Success Club 100, I've never gotten past 36. So it's still a big, hairy, scary goal. But I'm like, if I want to get into this test group and do the most elite points, I need to really do big shit. So it's got to happen. That's part of reverse engineering that test group goal is like figuring out what I need to do to get in there for me personally, because it's different than you guys. Again, you guys are lucky. I'm so salty because you guys have it easy at the next month, but it's cool. I'm good with it. So how many people do you need to talk to a day, or how many invites do you need to send in order to make that happen? How many follow-ups? This is the type of thing. It's like to hit these numbers, you just need to ask yourself these questions so you can give yourself a game plan of logistically what you need to do. Because I think a lot of the times we get stuck in our businesses, and what I see with you guys is people who struggle to hit Success Club simply aren't talking to enough people. Like we say, invite. And so maybe you talk to 3 new people a day or 3 people a month. And you think if these 3 people order, or we get hung up on the people who say they're going to order and then they never do, and then they ghost you. And it's like we count our chickens before they hatch. So none of that. But that's why we want to reverse engineer. So actually, let's do a reverse engineer for a slightly smaller goal. Anybody?
I'll go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yay, Kelly.
Okay. My goal is just to stay consistent on social media, because I go through funks where I'm like off social media for like 2 days, and then I come back and I'm like, oh, hey. And it's kind of just like, why would anyone want to continue to follow someone's journey when they don't really believe in themselves sometimes?
So staying consistent in social media.
Yes.
Is Success Club part of that goal, or your goals as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't say it. Yes.
So let's reverse engineer that, staying consistent on social media. How are you going to do that? So what do you need to do to like show up for yourself on social media every day?
Well, recently I've put like in my planner, I've kind of like mapped it out of like what I can talk about each day. Because the whole point and where I wouldn't stay consistent is I was like, oh, I don't really have anything to talk about because I wasn't reading enough personal development.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. And Courtney did a great call on what to like post on social media last Thursday too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really helpful, and I love that. And I think it is just, sometimes I have those days where I don't want to post. I'm still showing up on my stories though. I try not to go MIA, especially in your first year, you guys, because you want to build that momentum. But know that the cool thing about what we do is, because I never believed in myself either, and I struggled with that self-belief a lot, is like your coach believes in you. We as a team believe in you. And so it's your job now to believe in yourself, and you can even share that. And that's why you want to help other women, because you get to not only instill that belief in yourself, but you get to instill in other women who struggle with the same thing. And that is why it's relatable. And that's why you'll hit Success Club. And that's why you'll change lives and be successful, is because people don't want perfect. They want relatable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
I love planning that out. And I think that perfect.
Thanks.
Thanks for sharing, Kelly. Anybody else?
I see Nicole on here. I see you up in Team TCB. You should share your goals next. I'm gonna call people out now.
Yeah,
People that I see on video at least.
call out.
Okay, hi. This is my first team call, by the way, so I'm excited to be here. So I was hoping to, I want to hit Success Club 10. So I've only ever hit 2. And I thought it was because I signed up my mom. So I want to actually get people excited and hit Success Club 10.
I think that's an awesome goal. So reverse engineering that's 5 people, getting 5 people started. And so I would say you want to invite 5 to 10 new people a day to make that happen, because then you're guaranteeing yourself a good amount of people. And even if going one step further, reverse engineering this and getting super clear, how you're going to talk to those people. With these goals, I want you guys to take it, we're kind of going levels, but I want you to think about how many invite posts you're going to do and how many people you're going to reach out to, how many new connections you're going to make, how many new invites to actually send to get there. So I would send for that goal 5 to 10 invites a day, making sure you're being super consistent on your social media, sharing your journey, sharing your transformations and transformations from the team, from Lift 4. And that's awesome. I know. I feel bad. We called you out on your first team call.
I for some reason thought you had been on a team call before. Sorry. She's I'm never going to show up again. They called me out, my first one. Okay, your turn to call someone out, Kate. This is fun.
I'm going to call out Brandy, because I saw her face and then
I saw her earlier. There she is. She's muted and no video.
Oh, wait, I'm here.
I'm for sure working out right now. I knew you. Let me catch my breath. Hold on. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. I was waiting for it. I was like, she's going to call me out. I'm in the middle of this.
If I knew you were out.
Let me catch my breath. Hold on one second. I have my goals in my head. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, so my goals are, number one, I've been saying this. I want to help 5 people for sure. And I've been pushing for that. And then, I just want to focus on helping 5 people. Because I keep hitting Success Club 4. I did it the first month, nothing the second month. This month I just hit Success Club 4. So today I got somebody. So I just am So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And then posting, I really want to start talking more on my Instagram stories. I don't know why I have this big fear around it, where I'm scared to do it, or I know sometimes I can talk about anything, and then when it comes to coaching, I'm oh my gosh, why can't I talk about this? I sound so awkward. Why am I so awkward? So, yeah.
Not even gonna lie, what I did when I was a new coach and I struggled with talking about it, I used to make videos on my phone just for me. And then I would delete them because I'm really awkward and I criticize myself and I couldn't watch. I don't like hearing myself speak at all. Really don't like Instagram stories and listen to myself. I hate listening to myself. I feel bad.
I'm the same way.
But no, everybody struggles with that fear. And I have days where my anxiety is high and I really don't feel like talking, but it's pushing past that and sharing that and be okay, you guys, not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous to talk to you guys about this, but it's been on my heart. I have this really big opportunity for you guys to join me on this life-changing experience of joining the team as a coach and getting in amazing shape and getting paid to be fit. It just, you get better the more you talk about it. And one thing that we also talked about on the call with Amy was like setting up. And one thing I want to start doing is like setting up closing calls, and maybe we could practice it on a team call, but like practicing being on a call with somebody and closing them, or practice talking about the coaching opportunity and it getting real awkward and everybody say like their little spiel about what they did just to get good at it. Like, because you're not going to get good until you do it. And it's going to be really awkward in the beginning. It's going to be something that you may mess up, but that's the thing is like, it's relatable. Like people don't expect you to be perfect. I still goof up sometimes, and I'm like 5 years into this, and you better believe other coaches do too. So I would say, again, reverse engineering, not talking to at least 5 to 10 new people a day, making sure you're adding enough new people to your network. And what we've already talked about is making sure you're posting more, adding more value. And then talk about coaching. You can do it. I believe in you.
Thank you.
Oh, I see Sarah. Does she have a goal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's at work, she said. Yeah, speaking, while she gets on here, yeah, you guys have live videos, you have like Instagram stories. I didn't have any of that, neither did Kate. And I'm not trying to talk in like the olden days, like I had to walk 7 miles in the snow uphill. Like, I'm not trying to say that, but it was worse to like do a video, because then you have the opportunity right there to like really delete it or whatever, or asking your boyfriend to take a video of you because you didn't have a tripod accessible and he had to like video you, and then you have to like say this in front of him. That was even worse. So at least we get to like talk to ourselves in our Instagram story. I always act like I'm just talking to myself in the mirror, because I'm sure I'm not the only weirdo that does that. And it just makes it so much easier. Or talking to your best friend, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I am the only weirdo that does that. I see people laughing. I'm like, oh no, I'm the only one.
Yeah, I do it too. And I think that's how it should come off. Like if you guys are coming off like super weird about it, you want to talk to your social media like you're talking to your best friend, because that's relatable and that'll show people you're excited. Because obviously if you're doing something that's changing your life, and we all are, like that's going to excite people. I'm going to call out Katie because she turned her video on and now I see her.
Hi. So my goal for the month of August.
Oh wait, you cut out right as you were saying your goal.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. Sorry, I sent my phone down so I couldn't. But so my biggest goal for August is going to be reaching Success Club, because I've been getting Success Club 2 or Success Club 4, but I haven't been getting at least 5. So my goal is actually going to be to hit Success Club 10, because that's what I want to be pushing towards, to like raise the bar. And then I'm going to be starting work again, my full-time job, the next couple of weeks. And so I'm going to be really chunking out my time for inviting, and then sending out. I'm going to hit for like 10 invites a day, like between 5 and 10 a day, to really go out there. And like, I'm really working too on my like Instagram flirting and kind of like building those relationships with people. Cause I'm finding that gets kind of more of a response, and like that's what builds the trust with people. It's like you're a real human and you have all of that. So I'm working on building my Instagram relationships, chunking out my time and my schedule, and then sending out about 5 to 10 invites, either for coaching or challenge groups. I'm also really like pushing invites to people who are like following up with 3-day refresh and all of that stuff too. So kind of all messed going on.
Well, you just reverse engineer it for yourself. I love, and I want to highlight the fact that you said you were going to chunk out your time, because that's a great way and something that I want you guys to be super intentional about too. If this is something you struggle with, maybe you're not making your time management like well, and I struggled with this for a really long time too. And I think it's actually easier when you work a full-time job than versus when you're full-time, because you have less time to get it done. So you're more serious about doing what needs to be done within that time. So just getting super specific, like have work hours, and make sure when you guys are doing those work hours that you're not scrolling. And one thing that Amy said that the other top coaches all do is they don't scroll. They don't watch people's Instagram stories, and they all struggle with comparison, and they all get so caught up in what they're going to say, and then they look at what other people are doing and they get like weird about that, so they just stopped completely following other coaches. They don't follow other coaches. They don't spend time scrolling on social media. So like if that's something you struggle with, especially with time management, because I think we'd all be way more successful if we stopped scrolling and spent that time working our businesses. So just like be super intentional about your time. But I love that, Katie. And I know you can do it.
I always say consume less, create more. That's something that I always constantly have to remind myself. Once I start sending my friends like memes, I'm like, stop. Like, this is not what you're supposed to be using this for right now. Of course, there's like a time and a place, but whenever I catch myself going down that rabbit hole, I'm like, okay, are you creating or are you consuming? So do you want to be on the creation side of it or do you want to be on the consumer side of it?
I love that.
And Sarah said that her Success Club goal was 20. Yes. Yeah, girl, you're going to get it.
So for that, I would say like 20 invites a day.
Mm-hmm.
Just like setting yourself up in these things. Like if you're talking to this many people a day and sending that many invites, you are going to lock in that goal. And it's just making sure you're shooting above, because even if you shoot above, like especially with the activities, this is why it's important to set bigger goals, because even if you set bigger goals and you just miss it, you're still hitting like the bare minimum. The bare minimum is Success Club 5. So say everybody here wants to shoot for Success Club 10, because even if you're working like you're going to hit Success Club 10, you're definitely going to hit Success Club 5. And it's not just upping your goals, but it's upping your activity for those goals. Because then even if you're upping your activity and doing something above what'll even hit Success Club 20, then you'll at least lock that in. So it's just upping your activity and being really intentional with that.
I reverse engineered mine and I changed it from 54 people to 54 households. Does that sound like more intentional to you guys? If you think of it as like an entire household that you can change, like an entire household, think of that impact and that like pay it forwardness. Like, I'm so excited.
That makes me emotional because
I know I have to relate it to emotion. I'm an emotional person. So if it's not emotional for me, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to do it.
No, and I think that's huge too. And I think about all the people who I've helped who have families who have like been improved in like their health just as a family. I'm going to call out Sarah for a second because I know her mom's on the journey to lose 100 pounds and she's already lost over 20, right? And like, but that all started because Sarah committed.
Yep.
So like, you guys have to think about not just how you're helping yourself, not just how you're building a business, not just how you're helping one person, but how cool is the ripple effect of what we have and how it can be a catalyst for so many other people in their life and how it can change so many people. Yeah, that gives me all the feels. So many feels, man. Anybody else just want to get accountable?
Okay, I'm in my car, so I can't do this very long, but I need to legit set business hours. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I need to like set legit business hours. Definitely invite 20 or more a day. I got kind of like I was doing too much, and then I felt like I got kind of off track because there's all this busy stuff going on. I'm like, I know I need to like block this like time off. Even if I'm gonna be busy, sometimes I'm better when I'm busy, but when I'm like, so I need legit hours and I need to commit. So when you guys are saying invite, I got a little confused last week. Somebody was like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, I'm inviting you to this or inviting you to that. Like they're also like saying engaging and talking with this many people. So I think I got a little confused. Do you mean like legit inviting 20 people a day to something specific?
I do, yeah. Honestly, I mean, I do think it's important, and something that you guys can all think about too is I personally have seen this like roller coaster in other people's businesses, and I've been stuck in it myself, is I struggled for a really long time with inviting. And then Amber struggled with a really long time. And like we all were focusing on attraction marketing on social media, and that doesn't work for everybody. And there was a dip in the team, and it all came down from like, I honestly, when I joined Amy, she didn't have to invite like we did. And she didn't do it as religiously as she did as a new coach. So I didn't know exactly what it meant. And so I wasn't teaching it in the correct way. And I was saying engaging, but no, when I'm saying inviting you guys, I'm saying inviting somebody directly to a challenge group. And you can have a previous conversation with them. We've talked a bit about flirting and engagement and creating that relationship. So you have that next thing, or whether they like a post. I always send people invites when they like my post, but I'm talking about a direct invite. And it doesn't have to be super formal. I'll be like, hey girl, thanks so much for accepting my friend request. I see you're on your health, or are you on your health and fitness journey too? And then that leads to the thing. But that's not the invite, but that's like the connection portion and then getting to the invite. So making sure you're talking to enough people that you can invite, make sure you're adding enough people on your social media, on Facebook, especially on Instagram. Just talking to people, engaging with people so you have people to invite. And also don't cut out the people who are close to you, like the people that you see. I remember when I was a new coach, Amy told me this was the whole like pull your head out of your ass, make Success Club a non-negotiable thing. She told me to make 50 contacts a day. This wasn't 50 invites. This was 50 contacts. So I had people to invite every day. So I had a notebook that I would write down, and I would add new people on Facebook. I would talk to new people on Instagram. I always got their name and email address or whatever. And then because I was a freaking weirdo and I worked at the mall, I used to go to work early, or if I knew I had a morning shift and I got off in the early afternoon, I'd walk around the mall for a creeper like an hour just looking for people to talk to. There's this whole thing called the 3-foot rule that Amy taught me. Obviously, like, be wary of stranger danger. We're all adults, so hopefully we know like when people are weirdos and people aren't. But if somebody like fits your vibe, just talk to them. It doesn't have to be weird. When you start asking about somebody else, it's going to automatically come up what you do. So make sure you're talking to people. If you're going to a coffee shop to work for an hour, if you're a mom and you're going to like your kids thing, the other parents, or like whatever it is you do, just make sure you're talking to people in your workplace. I invited everybody who I worked with, by the way. Like, everybody had heard about what I did so many times that they thought it was a cult. And I got 2 of the girls to join, and they were like, nobody's gonna join your cult. I'm like, so, and then I just walked around the mall like a weirdo.
I want to touch on the engagement aspect really quick. And this is just something that I think personally worked for me. When I was starting, I was like, I felt really overwhelmed, which is not a word we want to use, but that's what it was. I felt negative and overwhelmed by it, by inviting. I was like, I don't have anyone to invite, which is always the wrong answer, because you do. Like, there are so many like people within your reach, especially with social media. But how to get started with that, I think I just did a little quick math. I can do math. But if you are worried about inviting people because you think you don't have people to invite, I would recommend the next couple of days to make those contacts and start talking to those people. So let's say your goal is to invite 10 people a day, right? Like, you got to kickstart this. So let's kickstart it. That's 70 people for the entire week. Okay. So the first 3 days, talk and engage to 22 people. And then the last 3 to 4 days after that, those 22 people each day, so roughly around 70 people, you're then going to invite them because they already know who you are. They've already been creeping on your Instagram and you've already been engaging with them. So if you feel like you're maybe stuck and you're like, how do I start? I can't just like straight up send an invite to someone. Maybe do it that way. It's just an idea. There's like not a right or wrong way to do anything. But if you're worried about that initial invite, send like the next 3 days, even 2 days, break it down however you want with your math, and connect with them, talk with them. And then the 3 days after that, that's when you're going to do your mass inviting. And then you're just going to have this roller coaster, and well, not roller coaster, but whatever effect, like momentum build up, because I don't have to worry about not having people to invite because I'm always talking to new people. I'm always, and the same with Kate and same with the seasoned coaches on here. Like, I've already built that. So if you're new and you're just new to starting inviting, I would say start talking to people hardcore the next 3 days. And then 3 days after that, 4 days after that, that's when you're going to like bam with your invites because you've already been talking to those people. What do you think, Kate?
I love that. And I think it's just setting yourself up. So even on those days when you're inviting, personally, because we're just shooting for August to be your best, I would just set aside like 10 minutes each day where you're going to make those new contacts, where you're going to do it so it's like reasonable for yourself, obviously. But if you're setting these goals and like talking to 70 new people or inviting, like setting yourself up so you're CCQing or chatting, that's up to you. It's just forming a relationship. CCQing is forming a relationship. So it's talking about like a direct message, that's forming a relationship. That part is up to you, but the direct invite is still the direct invite that you're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you're still getting your direct invites done and you feel like maybe warmer to get into that conversation. So yeah.
But you're setting yourself up for a strong like flow for you, and also so you don't burn out and you constantly have new people to talk to.
And then you have people to follow up with.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like this really amazing cycle that I've been working with. Kate's been working with for 5 years. I've been working with for 3. So I think it works.
Yeah. And something to remember too is like you may need to hear no. You especially, this is why it's really important to start this at the beginning of the month.
You're going to hear no. Let's say that. Not me.
If you're not hearing no, you're not talking to enough people. That's just like the end of discussion there. If like you're not hearing no, you're not talking to enough people. If you're afraid of hearing no, like I used to be fucking terrified of hearing no.
Yep.
Like I always say on these calls, like don't do what I did, where if I thought I was going to hear no or hear like an objection, I just didn't open the message or email. Please don't do that. There is an objection called by Brie Headley and Set Your Soul on Fire. If you search her, it's amazing. So you can become an objection ninja, because it's weird if I don't get objections now. But like that's going to happen. You have to learn how to handle them. And then if you're just struggling with hearing no, like read Failing Forward. I can't believe I don't remember who that's by right now. I don't know. I'll look it up and I'll post it on the team page. And then Go for No. Those are both awesome books to like change your mindset about hearing no. We live in a society where no is a bad thing, and business no is a good thing, because that means you're talking to enough people and you're getting to that end of discussion where it's like they either buy it or they say no. So I think that's really important. And yeah, does anybody have any questions? Oh, I just want to go over one more time. So your assignment tonight, if you haven't already done it, we have 2 hours left to like make Success Club happen. If you're at 4, if you're at 2, like really, I encourage you to step outside your comfort zone. Reach out to your family, reach out to your friends, reach out to everybody who've ever talked to, offer some sort of incentive, or like really like decide to make it happen. Step number 2 is write out, oh yeah, John Maxwell, Failing Forward. Thank you, Sarah. Step 2, write out your goals. Be very specific. Step 3, reverse engineer those goals, kind of like we did on here. And then step 4 is write yourself that letter tonight. It can be after 9 p.m. if you're still pushing, but like write yourself that letter and like write pen to paper, get very specific on this. Tell yourself what you're going to accomplish. And remember, you're writing this to yourself on like, it's your future self. It's September 1st. So everything you accomplished in August. And I really want you guys not to just be like, I accomplished this, but like, how did that make you feel? And then if you feel comfortable, share it in your team page, but, make sure you're reading this every day, because this is like your why for August. This is going to remind you of like why you're doing this, and really like take that the next level. Be like, not just what this does for August, but what this does for September and what it can do for your family. Maybe you're paying off debt. Maybe you want to have an amazing Christmas for your family. Maybe you want to be able to afford plane tickets and to see your family, and you can do that here. Like, think about whatever it is that you're working towards, get very specific, feel those feelings that go along with that, and then be really proud of yourself, because no matter what you do, as long as you show up and you're doing those things, like you will surprise yourself with what you can accomplish in August. And we really believe in you, and we want you to take that next step and believe in yourself.
Boom.
My joke.
Did you miss me, Kate?
I did. I really did. Only because also we both get really awkward and don't know what to do and start laughing.
Yeah, so if you guys are like, I'm awkward with live videos and stuff, like the most awkward, I promise you.
You don't know how to end calls. So this is an ending. I don't know if Kel has any last words, but I just want to say.
No, I'm tired.
Okay, sounds good. You can get to bed. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for hopping on this call. I'm super proud of everybody. I'm excited to read everybody's goals and their letters to themselves. Just remember, the more specific you get, the more you'll get out of this. And this isn't something like I just want you to do one time. This is something I want you to set yourself up for each month. And I didn't like doing this because I wasn't, especially in the beginning, I wasn't like a woo-woo person. I wasn't somebody who believed in like visualization. I didn't believe in manifesting. I didn't believe in personal development. And I really struggled. And we don't want you guys to struggle the same way we did. And we want you to learn from our mistakes. So making sure you're setting yourself up and getting specific and then getting into action. So thank you guys. Have a great night. I'll get this recording up later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.